Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this Friday morning. Everybody getting ready for a big weekend. I'm going to go ahead and give you this news. It's not breaking news, but it's some news I've heard every day. I just got off the phone 3 minutes ago with a guy, and I wrote down and quoted, killing them. That's what they're doing down at Howard Creek and Douglas Landing, and they're killing them on the river. Folks, it's been a great week of fishing out of the Apalachicola River system. We're going to go over it later on in the fishing report, but I just wanted to tell you what's fresh on my mind. They're excited about it. There are a lot of fish being caught. So if you get a chance to get to fish some fresh water, this will be a great weekend and do it, okay? But let's move on and get our weather done by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. High today, 89, low 78, and the water temperature is 87 degrees. So it's going to look good. We got about a 40% chance of rain today, so be aware of that. I'll take a look at our river readings. The Apalachicola Bluntstown, it's been level. Really, they're calling for 1.8 today, and it's just staying level all week long and for the weekend. The Choctawhatchee Caryville is at a 4.5 and about a steady out. It's going to drop a little bit on Sunday, but today and tomorrow is going to be pretty level. So, that changes on a daily basis. That's why we do river readings almost every day, because it changes. It changes pretty fast, but a lot of times before we know it. All right, tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Finally get back into some good tides. Good tide today and a real good tide tomorrow. High tide this morning at 6:52 and a low tide this evening at 5:58. So really ideal situation for fishing. You got that high tide in the morning and get on up there in that grass, and then it's going to start falling out and start moving. So again, want that moving tide. Everybody that ever fishes around bays and all, like our guest yesterday, Lisa Fitzgerald was talking about, she fished her whole life around the bay system, and she said, got to have moving water, and guest after guest say that, all right? Now, marine forecast coming out of west-southwest at 10 to 15. Go ahead and look at our Barron's barbecue. Let's do our times today. Barron's barbecue shrimp marinade. We're looking at 8:56 to 10:56 this morning, and ironically, that's going to coincide with that falling tide. Tonight, 9:24 to 11:24. And I mentioned floundering. We've had some reports on floundering, but have been a little bit on the small side and been scattered. People are going like 4 to 5 hours and getting maybe 2 to 3. So it's not, nobody's really loaded the boat up yet. It's late summer now. We're about to get into August. It's the last weekend of July. August is here. So August and September, they start doing some real serious floundering, okay? We're going to go and take our break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, folks. Glad you joined us this morning. We got on the phone, we like to every Friday call down at Sea Quarters Marina. We don't get to do it every Friday, but much as we can, have Captain Kim on the phone. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chester.
Well, tell us what's going on down in Caryville at Sea Quarters Marina.
Well, we've had absolutely perfect weather over here for fishing. They've been catching all kinds of trout, mostly on popping corks. They've caught some Spanish. A lot of the jam fab little jigs are working good for that. The pink color's the most popular. They've been catching all kinds of bluefish already, which is a little bit early, I think, but they've been working at it. So that's good news for our kingfish tournament next weekend. I had a gentleman come in 3 days ago with a 47-pounder.
Wow.
So they're here. Yeah, they're here.
47 pounds. That would have won the tournament.
That would have won the tournament, I think, yeah. It was a nice one, real nice.
Okay, what about, you said you had someone watching the show the other day and came in on a voodoo, or what was that?
Oh, that was perfect, too. I had a nice gentleman come in, and he asked me right off the bat where the voodoo shrimp at, and he said he had watched Panhandle Outdoors and heard they were the hot item, so he, of course, got 3. It was good. They go like hotcakes because they're just so rugged. Yeah, they last a lot longer. That's
a really good lure. What about your inshore, any redfish or triple tail or anything like that?
I've only heard a couple triple tail stories, but the redfish are still real good. I haven't had a bad day of redfish yet, and of course they told me offshore too that they've been seeing the black sea bass. Ooh. So they're moving in too. So it's getting to be fall.
Well, you know, this momentum builds for this tournament all summer long, and it's going to be next weekend. And we haven't talked about it a lot, but I know we've already registered, and my crew, we're going to be fishing it hard, and we're just excited about it.
And it's going to be a nice tournament. We've got all kinds of good products here in the shop. Got some new coolers and all kinds of new stuff in here for everybody to look at. And don't forget next weekend, and it should be absolutely gorgeous. So come and join us for the Kingfish Tournament for Leukemia Research Foundation in memory of Lisa Crowder Jackson.
That sounds good. You got to hit the nail on the head right there. And
Okay.
even though Miller's retired, he's going to be hanging around, isn't he?
Oh, I hope so. I sure do.
Okay. All right, well, Kim, thank you so much.
You bet, Mr. Chester. Look forward to seeing you next weekend.
All right, we'll see you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good folks down there, and again, we talk about this a lot. We really haven't talked about the Sea-Quarter tournament much this year, but we just have been busy. We had a lot of guests and all, but you know, it's coming up next weekend. If you get a chance to enter it or go down and watch a weigh-in and support it, we talk about each year the money goes toward leukemia research, and it's just you won't have a better tournament as far as quality of people and as far as the cause for why they're fishing, and it's just a special time. And I got hooked on it about 8 or 9 years ago, and or maybe 10 years ago now, and it just, you know, I talk about it a lot. I probably talk about it too much according to some of y'all, but it's just something special. So a lot of tournaments around, a lot of good tournaments around, but this one goes toward a great cause. So anyway, enough about that. But we'll talk about the fish tournament. You heard what they said about the bluefish coming in now. That's that warm water we've had lately. All right, I got some pictures here. Let's move on to some pictures. Let me see if I get set up here. I'll get the right ones first. We talked about a hog wild. Bob and Sarah Thomas and Jack and Susan Prescott, their grandsons now. Okay, they're fishing. That's a great picture. Two of the grandsons. Now this is Cooper. The youngest one is Cooper. Okay, and this is, I believe, this will be Sawyer. Okay. Let's see, Cooper. No, this is Cooper here in the yellow, all right, and then Sawyer is in the blonde. I got to get that straight because they'll be mad at me. Okay, they're gonna be watching on YouTube all the way out to Texas. Okay, so let's move on. Talking about water temperature. I know I've told you how important it is. The folks, here's a better picture of it. You see all across the Gulf of Mexico, and here's a better picture here. You can see just it comes in currents and different, but up here around the Nature Coast area, then that block of warm water out there is really moving pretty strong as far as warming things up. Okay, people have been asking about this new rule now on amberjack and gray triggerfish. This is as of August the 1st. We're talking about the recreational harvest of greater amberjack will remain closed in federal waters, but will open in Florida state waters. That's 9 miles out. The gray triggerfish, okay, it's going to be closed in both state and federal waters. All right, so be aware of that. Okay, now also want to, I've got a couple more pictures here. Let's see. All right, I don't know if I've shown this picture. This is my great nephew. Okay, Hunter Jordan, big fish there. And I don't know if I showed this 13-foot about a week or so ago. 13-foot hammerhead caught on Cape San Blas, and you see where they measured them, kept them in the water, measured them, and released them. And something good to be doing now is getting this Bill Buchanan getting a tree stand. He's building a brand new one, but that's well constructed. I guess he's going to haul it down in a trailer. I don't know if he's going to hunt out of the backyard or not, but it makes you start thinking about deer season and to get things ready for deer season and all as far as tree stands. That's something I got to do. When I saw that, it reminded me I got to get moving. Okay, how about James Thomas 24-inch flounder? That is a nice one. Okay, there's a few big ones being caught. Most of them are, like I said, on the small side, and we'll talk about this later. But anyway, that's our picture. So you can see what's going on as far as the flounder, and also people getting the tree stands ready, sort of in a mixture, getting it ready for this late summer run. And like I say, August is here, so all kind of interesting things. We've got scallop season opening this month, and we got these tournaments coming on. A lot of tournaments are in August. Okay, let's take a break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. You know, we mentioned the word habitat yesterday, and that's a word we use throughout the years I've done about Panhandle Outdoors, a habitat for the wildlife, whether it be National Wild Turkey Federation or Ducks Unlimited, like we mentioned yesterday, or in the Bay ecosystem. But the habitat is so important, and a lot of groups are trying to save it and all. We're fortunate here in Florida Panhandle, we have a vast habitat for our wildlife, unlike some of the more developed areas of our state, and we want to try to keep as much of that natural as we can. And what makes me want to mention it, yesterday afternoon, I've been in a situation now where I'm doing a lot of when I retired, I just had a list of things I want to get done, and some of the stuff been outside. And I have me a boat ordered from Key West Marine, but it's like 12 weeks out. They're so busy over there. The factory is so busy. We're like 12 weeks out. I've got fishing. I hadn't done a lot of fishing this last couple of weeks because I'm waiting for a boat to come in to do some real serious fishing. So that's why we haven't seen a lot of fishing video recently. But we're going to see plenty of it pretty soon. But I'm working outside. But anyway, the area I live in years ago when I moved out there, some quail, and then they disappeared because some houses were being put up, and then all of a sudden, recently they've come back, and every afternoon these quail and I have a conversation. They go, and I answer them. I'm out in the yard working or something. I'm building something right now, but I just get a kick out of it. There's not many. You can't do that a lot, but I just think, and I haven't seen them yet, because it's so thick in some areas. But the habitat is building back up and all, and that's what would happen if we just give them a little bit of an area. They'll just appear out of nowhere. So I just want to pass that on to you. A lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's really quick talk about. I was thinking about last night about what to talk about. Unregulated species in Florida on fish and all in salt water. Take a look at this picture here. This is fascinating. There are no regulations on them. You catch them any you want to, and there's a bunch of them. I won't go through all of them. Let's see. Here's a white grunt. Let's see, a whiting. I catch a lot of whiting, catfish, ladyfish, a bonita, barracuda, pinfish, a jack crevalle over in that low right-hand corner. What I want you to understand, these are the unwanted fish, but what has happened? We're talking about evolution. There's not going to be anything that's like an unwanted fish. I wrote down the trash fish. I wrote it down. The term trash fish will become obsolete pretty soon because there's no such thing as a trash fish. People are now eating jack crevalle and a little bit of everything. So, and these guides, they're smart enough to know when there's not enough redfish on out there. You can make a great show. Somebody coming down from Atlanta, they don't know if that redfish on the end or jack crevalle, but once they start jumping, or a ladyfish, those people enjoy catching fish, and they don't care if it's not we consider, locals consider a trash fish. It don't matter to the clients, or the captains know that now. So you see a lot more shark fishing with the captains, a lot more jack crevalle and a little toonie, and bonita is also hot. So it's funny how this evolution has occurred as far as the unwanted fish. They're all wanted now by everybody. And a lot of people now are eating some of the fish we never would have thought about eating. So it's fascinating, but and they're unregulated. But some of these unregulated fish are delicious. Like whiting, that is a great eating fish. We've talked about it before. So keep that in mind when you're out there and seeing all kind of fish, and say, don't use the term, oh, that's a trash fish. They all have their place in the ecosystem, believe me. And we're beginning to realize that. And a lot of fun to catch them. Okay, now. We've had guests the last 3 days, fascinating guests. I really enjoyed having them. They're doing a great job. I really enjoyed talking to Lisa yesterday. We talked after the show, and she's sincere about what she does in her job and all. And again, I want to encourage you to register for that CCA tournament. It's a win situation for everybody. I mean, you can really win some nice stuff, but we covered that yesterday. So anyway, what I want to do is get back to our videos from going down to ICAST. We still have a bunch more videos to show you. So we had a nice little break with our guests and all, but now what we're going to do, today's video is going to be invention of a round boat. And this mainly, we're talking about some freshwater ponds and areas and all where it's protected. But when I first saw them, I thought it was just a gimmick. I went over there and I saw a picture of them about a little while back. I saw a picture of them, and I said, well, what a gimmick. And then I started looking at them down at ICAST, and they really are fascinating. Got a chance to interview the guy who really got a patent on doing these. And they just can't keep them coming off. I mean, they're flying off the shelves. And a lot of people, they've gone from one man down to two man. So this is a good little interview on something that is very unique, a round boat. So Jeff, wait, before we do that, let's go do our drawing. Okay. All right, Dropping Rock Seafood real quick. The winner of the $20, I'm going about 2/3 of the way down today. Not all the way to the bottom. 2/3 of the way down, and the winner is from St. George Island, John Olander. John Olander from St. George Island. $1 gift certificate to Tarpon Dock Seafood in the winter. I'm going halfway down now. Winner of the red snapper is going to be from Southport, Ruth Berry. Okay, Ruth, that's her second win this year. Good job, Ruth. And so that'll be something good. You'll enjoy it. Okay, now let's get ready. We're going to watch this video on the invention of the round boat. All right. All right, folks, I've been wanting to stop by this booth because this is such a unique idea. This is, I want to say, Todd
Fouché.
Todd Fouché.
Yes, sir.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
All right, listen, this round boat, a round boat. First
Yes,
of all,
sir.
before we get to it, tell us a little bit about your background.
Background is I was a captain for 6 years in Tampa Bay. I've been fishing since I was 7 years old, both bass and saltwater. So my passion is fishing. I love to fish.
Your parents took you since you were a little kid.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. And I would always say, I've got a bite, I got a bite. And they're like, Todd, you. And then when I got older, they realized that I was right. I was, getting those hits and catching those fish.
Okay, and then you also had a lot of TV show at one time?
Yes, sir. On the Sportsman Channel, I had it was called Sling and Bait TV. It was a dream of mine since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And the opportunity arose, and I thought, time to take it.
Okay, so you got all that out of your system, and you come up with this idea of this round boat.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about it. What made you think of that?
Well, it's based off of a coracle, which is a round boat that's been around since pre-Roman era. So we took the basic idea, and they're still used today in the Far East and the Middle East. And so we basically took that round boat aspect and modernized it pretty much. We have a patent pending right now. We flatten the bottom, put strakes on it so it runs true in the water. You can let go of the trolling motor, and if you're pointed in the direction that you want to go, it's going there.
Okay.
Now, if you want to spin it in a circle, it most certainly will go in a circle. But the nice thing about it is it's stable. We throw 10-foot cast nets off of it. We've got a 2-seater now. So we got it re-rated by the Coast Guard for two people, 674 pounds weight capacity. But so we took that basic round concept because it works, and we put it into plastic.
Wow. So let's take a look at it. This one right here would be one of your models here, a 2-seater.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, Todd, tell us a little bit about you got a trailer. You can haul it with this trailer here.
Yes, sir.
Customized trailer to come in colors.
Yep. We have 10 different colors.
Okay.
Pink is very popular. We bring it to all the boat shows, of course, because it brings people into
Brings in those ladies.
But we do sell quite a few pink boats.
Yeah.
We actually have a pink camo that we're now doing.
Oh, really? And this camo, this duck hunter's paradise right here.
Yeah, that's our number one seller. It's
Is
our
it?
camo boat. Yes, sir.
That's,
And it's hand painted by me personally.
no way.
Yes, sir.
Now, when the boss hand paints it, that's impressive. And then over here you got a carrier too, that just hitch.
Yes, sir. It's a hitch carrier. So if somebody has an SUV or a car and they don't want to spend the money on the trailer,
Yeah.
we offer the hitch carrier at a very reasonable price. So you can roll it right up into the hitch carrier and take it down the road.
That's cool. And people can just go online, check your website, and
Yes, sir.
order them. And you've already got them, they're going all over the world now.
Yes, sir. We've got them in India, France, Germany, and then we have some other interest in Italy and some other countries. So.
All right, now we've got to get some of these up in the Panhandle. I want to see some in Weewall. I want to see some at Round Lake. All right, round boat at Round Lake. Thank you so much, Todd.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job. All right, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that little segment there. Fascinating, but I looked at those boats. They're very stable, and we didn't get a lot of good video on the trailer that hauls it, but that just hooks in and that fits right on there. So interesting. So you can go online and take a look at that, okay? Now let's get our famous Friday fishing forecast brought to us by Tarpon Dock Seafood, and we're looking at some good weekend ahead of us. Again, I want to mention at the top of the show, I wrote this down. Freshwater, the Apalachicola River System and Choctaw River System. I'm sure over on Ochlockonee River, doing the same thing. It's been excellent fishing for brim and shell cracker and bass. You saw the picture this week, okay? So freshwater, excellent. Now let's go to Mexico Beach. Captain Mitch Coleman filed this report last night. He talks, and he's with Florida Days Adventures. You get a chance to go fishing those guys. He's a good captain. Water temperature down Mexico Beach now is 88 to 89, and the bite has been slow off that big, what they call a buck moon, full moon we had recently. The bait and the fish are deeper, so use a downrigger or planer for the kings on the buoy line and large structure and car bodies. AJs are eating live baits on bigger structures for catch and release. So that's the action down there. They're going for kings and AJs, but it has been slow, but it's really picking back up. And you just heard a report from Carabel where that 47-pound king mackerel was caught this week. So a lot of things going on. So while we're at Mexico Beach, let's look at the canal there. Some good surf fishing, steady surf fishing. You want to go early, okay? Early off the dock there too, okay? Now move on. We got to move quickly. We're running out of time. We got a little short. We got Carabel, Apalachicola. Let's go up here to Crooked Island Sound. We talked about that last week. Let's go on into the Apalachicola. I'm sorry, to the St. Andrew Bay system. Again, Jack Crevalle. We talked about that. Jack Crevalle can be caught right offshore, be caught in the bays. We're going to start talking about what a good fun fish that is, and it's very similar to a pompano. So they look a lot alike, they act a lot alike, and bite the same bait. Okay, also here in Panama City, we're looking at the pier fishing. I got a report on it. It's sort of been steady, but it hadn't been really hot as far as catching a lot of fish. They've caught some, but Spanish mackerel. They had a good run this week of Spanish mackerel in this bay system, and also down there toward Apalachicola Bay. They caught some down there. So Spanish mackerel, surprisingly. Also wrote down bluefish. Bluefish have been doing good. Also drum. Again, each Friday morning I say this, drum fishing. For some reason, it's been really hot this year. I know people are targeting those more, people fishing off bridges more, but it's been good. Again, we talked about nighttime fishing, and we had Travis in here. He talked about same thing we've talked about for a long time, fishing under these bridges at nighttime, kayaking. You can go out there, make sure you're well lit, get that outgoing tide. Now, we got a high tide in the morning. It's really outgoing, so if you're going to bridge fish, you need to get there right there at dark, or either get there. The tide's not really good right now for that if you're going to fish at midnight, but if you want to get that right there at dark, the tide is still going out. It's still going out really strong then too. Okay, I'm about to run out of time. I did have the Choctawhatchee River Voodoo Shrimp in Choctawhatchee Bay, and also, well, that's going to wrap it up. Make sure you file a float plan if you're going out. As weather pops up and things, I don't care if you're in a little canoe or whatever, let people know where you're going to be, okay? Have a great weekend outdoors, do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.